In this video, I'm going to show you how to strengthen your gluteus medius while avoiding the most common training mistakes. The gluteus medius is a fan-shaped muscle that attaches from the lateral aspect of the pelvis to the greater trochanter of the femur and is comprised of three distinct parts: anterior, middle, and posterior. All three aspects of this muscle act to abduct the hip, and of the primary hip abductors, the gluteus medius accounts for about 60% of the total cross-sectional area. Additionally, the anterior portion serves as a secondary hip flexor and internal rotator, whereas the posterior portion acts as a hip extensor and external rotator. With the hip flexed to 90 degrees, all compartments contribute to hip internal rotation. The gluteus medius is also well known for its role in stabilizing the pelvis during gait and single leg stance. According to a systematic review and meta-analysis by Moore et al. In 2020, 5 of the best exercises for the gluteus medius are 1. Sideline hip abduction with the leg biased into internal rotation, 2. Single leg bridges, 3. Standing hip abduction, 4. The hip hitch or pelvic drop exercise, and 5. Lateral step-ups. However, these exercises are based on EMG activity. Although EMG can help create a framework for exercise selection, it does have its limitations. For example, papers by Vygotsky et al. In 2018 and 2022 have suggested that EMG data shouldn't be used to predict long-term changes in hypertrophy and strength. A more recent study by Collins et al. In 2023 aimed to compare and rank gluteal muscle forces in 8 hip-focused exercises performed with and without external resistance. The 5 exercises with the highest peak gluteus medius muscle forces were 1. Side planks, 2. Single leg squats, 3. Single leg Romanian deadlifts or RDLs, 4. Split squats, and 5. Single leg hip thrusts. The side planks were performed with body weight only, while the other exercises were loaded using a 12 repetition maximum. Despite the differences in their findings, the key similarity for recommendations between these two papers and many others is that exercises targeting the gluteus medius should likely involve direct hip abduction or include a component of having to control and stabilize the pelvis in weight bearing. Let me share a comprehensive list of options, including progressions, regressions, and alternatives, and then provide considerations for exercise selection and programming. The exercises are demonstrated in no particular order. For weight-bearing options, the possibilities are endless. Some options include single leg RDLs, split squats, reverse lunges, and step-ups, including lateral step-ups and step-downs. Any of these exercises can be performed with a barbell, dumbbells, kettlebells, or just body weight. Holding a weight in the opposite hand of the working leg can be a strategy for trying to increase the demand on the gluteus medius. Keep in mind that none of these exercises, or any exercise for that matter, train the gluteus medius in isolation, so choose a loading strategy that you can gradually progress over time. Since these exercises don't isolate the gluteus medius, progressions and regressions don't necessarily have to be specific to this muscle. For example, you can make lateral step-ups and step-downs harder or easier by increasing or decreasing the height of the object you're standing on, which will influence the demand on larger muscle groups like the gluteus maximus and quadriceps. Similarly, there are a number of variations for each exercise that you can perform. For instance, you can do regular split squats, front foot elevated split squats, deficit split squats, rear foot elevated split squats, or deficit rear foot elevated split squats depending on your goals and preferences. You can even choose to do an isometric hold for any of these variations if desired. And just like the step-up example, you can make regular split squats easier by reducing the range of motion using a pad or pillow. In our How to Grow Your Glutes video, I explained that you can add a slight rotational component to the bottom of certain exercises, like reverse lunges and single leg RDLs, as a way of trying to increase the stretch and demand on the glutes. The last thing I want to mention about these exercises is that there will always be a trade-off between balance and force production. Since these are compound movements that train multiple muscle groups simultaneously, don't forego more load in pursuit of more instability. A Bosu ball or foam pad often makes these movements less effective by limiting the potential for how much weight you can add over time. In general, these types of exercises can be performed for 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 20 repetitions or 15 to 60 second holds. Although single leg bridges and single leg hip thrusts are primarily used for training the gluteus maximus, they also target the gluteus medius. They can be performed with body weight or added resistance, such as with a dumbbell placed on the working leg. You can also choose to do these isometrically by holding the top position for a set duration of time. For side planks, stack your feet, keep your hips elevated, and maintain a straight line from your trunk to your ankles. If this is too difficult, you can do a short side plank on your knees. To make side planks more challenging, you can do side planks while abducting your top leg, side plank thrusters, double leg or single leg, or elevated side plank thrusters, double leg or single leg. The most common non-weight bearing exercise is probably sideline hip abduction, which can be performed on flat ground or on a bench to increase the range of motion. For added resistance, use an ankle weight, weight plate, or bands. If needed, you can perform an isometric hold or reduce the range of motion by lifting off of an elevated surface, such as a stack of pillows. For any variation, keep your leg in line with your trunk or slightly behind, and your hip positioned in neutral or slight internal rotation. For standing hip abduction, you can use a band or cable attached to your ankle. Additionally, some gyms have machines designed for standing hip abduction, such as the multi-hip, or you can make a machine work for hip abduction like I'm doing here with the glute kickback machine. Other commonly seen exercises are band walks, which can be done with a band around your knees, ankles, or feet, and hip drops, which involves dropping and lifting the pelvis by relaxing and contracting the glutes of the standing leg. All of these exercises can be performed for 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions or 15 to 60 second holds. And hopefully this goes without saying, but this is not an all-inclusive list. The exercises you choose to perform will be based on a variety of factors, such as your goals, preferences, equipment availability, and tolerance. Regardless of your choices, here are 4 mistakes you want to avoid. 1. Overemphasizing the importance of sensation. A recent study comparing barbell squats to hip thrusts found that participants performing the hip thrusts felt their glutes working more, but that increased sensation didn't result in greater muscle growth or gains in strength. 2. Stressing about your glutes being activated. You can make your glutes stronger, or the exercise is more effective by modifying certain aspects of your technique, but your glutes are always on and working. 3. Not training hard enough. You don't always need to be doing high rep sets, taking short rest breaks, or performing these exercises daily. If tolerable, add resistance, take sets to failure or close to it, and give yourself adequate rest between sets and workouts. 4. Not integrating these exercises into a comprehensive training program. These don't need to be standalone movements. For example, if you're someone who trains your legs at the gym twice per week, your workouts might look like this. Monday, 3 sets of squats, 3 sets of single leg RDLs, 3 sets of seated leg extensions, 3 sets of single leg hip thrusts, 3 sets of side planks, and 3 sets of calf raises. Thursday, 3 sets of split squats, 3 sets of seated hamstring curls, 3 sets of reverse Nordics, 3 sets of back extensions, 3 sets of standing hip abduction with a cable, and 3 sets of calf raises. Now, if you're simply looking to add a few exercises to your home routine, you can easily incorporate single leg RDLs, split squats, side planks, single leg bridges, or any of the other exercises into your regular workouts. Including these exercises shouldn't make your training look drastically different. What about training the gluteus medius for rehab purposes? It's not uncommon for a physical therapist to manually resist someone's sideline hip abduction, conclude that their gluteus medius is weak, and describe how strengthening it will be the key to solving their symptoms or injury. Although these exercises can be used as part of a rehabilitation plan for low back, hip, knee, or ankle issues, the last mistake I want you to avoid is hyper-focusing on the gluteus medius. It is very rare that the strength or weakness of a single muscle is the answer to or cause of all of your problems. Whether it's considering sleep, stress, physical activity levels, nutrition, comorbidities, medication, aggravating activities, etc., rehabilitation often requires addressing the entire person. Incorporate these exercises into your routine if they align with your goals, but try to fit them into a comprehensive exercise plan that also takes the rest of your life into consideration. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave any comments down below. If you're looking for a rehab or performance program, or you want to work with us one-on-one, visit our website at e3rehab.com to learn more. Peace.